the digital realm has helped it so that we can stay connected to people that aren't in close proximity.
Yeah.
But then we're doing that too much.
It's not a replacement.
It's not a replacement for especially the people that do live close to you in proximity. I kept seeing these fun singles events on Instagram in other cities like LA, New York. I selfishly wanted to just go to them because they looked like fun events. With COVID and us going so much online, it's really hindered a lot of our social skills and interaction and people skills. What I find the most fulfilling with Find and what's made me so happy is that I'm able to plan the event, the experience, and then afterwards just seeing all the happy faces, the stories that come from it is what makes everything worth it.
Welcome back, everybody, to the FBA podcast, where we discuss foundation, business, and athletics. We're located right here at the 16 Tech Innovation Center in the beautiful city of Indianapolis. I'm your host. My name is Byron Jesu Hubbard II, and every guest we bring on is special. But this guest is actually very, very unique to the city of Indianapolis and to the city of Indianapolis' dating market. Today, we are chatting with an absolute connector and innovator who is solving the modern dilemma of dating right here in the Circle City. She is also a seasoned marketing professional and entrepreneur who previously co-founded the agency, the BoCo Collective, and she has since channeled her passion into creating Find Indianapolis, a company dedicated to making dating human again. Today we have Bo Turner. Thank you so much for being here.
Wow, that was the coolest intro ever. I was like, I need to take that and use it for future things. Thank you.
Whatever you want. No, I appreciate it.
I was like, put that on the website.
But no, I appreciate you really taking the time out to be here. I know I've seen you here a few times, but to take the time out to come all the way to the second floor and talk to me for a little bit, I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, of course. The way the show works is we are in the pursuit of purpose through people like yourself, through wisdom, through insight, and through your story. So the way that I start this show off is I just give the guests the floor for them to start from the beginning. So I would like to hear from you. How did you get here?
How I got here? Well, I was adopted from China. So we're going to throw it way back.
We'll
I was
start from the
adopted from
beginning.
China when I was 1. Grew up in Terre Haute, Indiana. My parents were older, so my mom was 50 whenever she adopted me. So it was very interesting growing up with older parents. She passed away when in my early 20s, but my dad's still alive, and he is one of my favorite people ever. Grew up in Terre Haute, Indiana. Went through all grade school, got a full ride scholarship to Indiana State University,
Nice.
So we love that. And then moved to Indianapolis in 2020. So very early COVID era moved to Indy, and it was very interesting. But I wouldn't change anything about it. So now I'm here in Indianapolis. I live in Broad Ripple. I love all things marketing and social media and just kind of entrepreneurship and management on that side. And I am so happy to be able to just live my dream life at such a great age. I'm 29, I'll be 30 next week. So it's like,
happy early birthday.
thank you.
Are you putting on a Find event for your birthday or like just?
Actually, no, I'm not a Find event, but my best friends are planning a surprise party for me, and it's not as bad as you think. Like, I know the date and time of it.
You know about the surprise party they're planning?
I'm not planning it. They are very strict on that. I don't do any planning. I just know the date, time, and the theme, which the theme is Squid Games.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'm very intrigued to see what they come up with.
Yeah. No. One, I appreciate you kind of giving me a brief overview of your history, and like I mentioned earlier, I've had Patrick on the show. He is very similar to you in terms of like the adoptee mindset and history. How do you think that played into how you approached your own identity growing up?
Yeah, I had very fortunate to have a pretty positive adoptee experience. I know through my friends that I've talked to that have also adoptees, not everybody has the same story. So I am very fortunate to have very supportive parents in a very good environment in Terre Haute. I didn't see a lot of, I would say, like microaggressions or racism, but there were like times, especially when I got older, and I honestly didn't understand what it was until I got older. So when I was younger, I just like brush it off. But growing up in the Midwest, adopted, being one of the only, like one of 2 or 3 Asian people in the high school.
Yeah.
was interesting. It's fun. People would always like call me the Asian, and it was just like a normal term because I was one of the only Asians in the school. So I thought that was just like a fun thing. But as I've gotten older, and especially after college, I've been able to develop and seek out more relationships with other people that either adoptees or just have Asian parents that are immigrants. And it is so fun. I actually studied abroad in China in college.
Really?
And that was my the only reason I went to China was because I was like, oh, well, I was adopted there. This is probably the best way to go see the country. So picked Shanghai, China. Did not even do any research. I was just like, I'm going to China. And the university had like partner universities, relationships with them. So I went in the dead of summer, which was actually terrible. Now that I think about it, we went in July and August.
July in China?
Yeah, it was over 100 degrees, humid. I just walk outside and start dripping sweat. But anyway, learned a lot. Very glad I did that experience, but it also made me really appreciate being adopted and living in America and everything that we take for granted.
Really?
Just even having water that you can drink. Like all the water there you have to have filtered. Especially as an outsider, it's like we don't have the immunity built up. But I'm pretty sure most of the people there also drink bottled water. Their water's just not drinkable. And just having, plumbing, toilets that you sit on instead of squat. They have a lot of squatty.
What?
Yes, where you just like squat in a hole in the ground. Just those nuances. Also toilet paper, like soap. It's very... Just the little things.
Yeah.
I am very glad that we have here. And but I loved my experience studying abroad. I want to go back whenever things feel a little safer to go back. But I always encourage people, if you are adopted or not, to check out the different countries, especially the ones that you came from.
Yeah.
That was one of the most pivotal experiences in my life. And from that experience, it's like I went there by myself. Nobody else from my university went to China.
You went solo?
Yeah, they like have a partner. It's like people would pick us up and take us to the university, but I didn't know there was nobody else from the school that was going to China. Because like I don't know, why would you? Everybody went to Europe. That was like the study.
I would go to China. Yeah.
Same.
I go to China.
But I had a blast eating all the food, experiencing the culture. We had a couple really good professors during that time that just brought us around China and showed us also the really good parts of China. So there's, pros and cons. And it made me very independent and be able to take risks that I wouldn't have thought. So I was there for 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And I wish I would have done a semester one. I only did a summer program. As soon as I had gotten used to being there and gotten over the homesickness, I left. So I do wish I spent a few more months over there, but who knows? Yeah. Life is long. So
yeah. To your point, and I'm not adopted, born, raised, and educated here, but I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, and I was that kid. Like, and 90% of my classes, there was like either me or maybe one other black person in the class, and I was very much raised on, like, to pay attention to those things. Honestly, like, in my adulthood, I've actually moved to the mindset of, like, not paying attention to that at all because it only made me insecure. Like, every time I walked into a room and I would be aware that I'm the only one of my kind in there, like, I would feel small. Imposter syndrome, like you brought up earlier. And it wasn't until really, like, the past 3-4 years that I had to start telling myself, like, I belong in this room. If I didn't belong, I wouldn't be in this room, And like it's interesting, like the switch that I personally overcame, like growing up and being told that I had to be aware of, like, there's nobody else like me in this room. Like, I grew up in this kind of neighborhood, or like if I run into a cop, like I need to be aware because of my skin color. And those things only gave me anxiety. Like, they didn't really gift me like the awareness that improved my upbringing or improved my adult life. And I kind of want to hear from you, because it sounds like you had that mindset a little bit earlier. Like, you mentioned that you didn't either experience or you didn't like really feel the microaggressions like all that much when you were a kid. So when do you feel like you became aware of, not that it was happening to you, but that it happens like to other people? And like, how did you kind of work your way through that and face it?
The best example I have is I used to work at Menards.
Save big money.
Save big money. I was a cashier. I loved it. Like it was what I loved that job. But the first things I didn't really realize it until looking back was I would work this customer service counter and men would approach me and they just start talking to me about their time in Vietnam and how I remind them of some lady lover back in the day,
Christ.
back in the war.
And this is multiple, like,
multiple times, yes, just different. And I'd be like, I would just sit there and listen because I didn't know. I was like, oh, that's sweet. Like I remind them of their past life. But as I've gotten older, I was like, that's interesting. You would just tell somebody that just because they look.
Did you tell
Asian.
Jeff that, or did you tell Megan?
Yeah, I was like, you don't tell them that story.
Yeah.
But that's like probably the most predominant thing. And back then, I would just smile and nod and ask them questions. Like, oh, that's interesting.
Really?
Like, interesting. But now, if somebody walked up to me, I would probably just go like stone cold face and be like,
why,
okay.
Why is that? Why the switch?
I think, okay, number one, it depends on how old they are. I'm going to be real honest.
Okay.
Like, if it's
some old man, it's like,
yeah,
you about to kick the bucket. It's all good.
I'm just like, all right, I'll let him be who he is. But if it's somebody closer to my age, like it's more of a just being aware, more self-aware of the situation. And I don't mind talking about being adopted. I love sharing my story on that side because I didn't grow up with it, so I like hearing other people's adoptee stories too. But typically, those are different questions people are asking me if they're intrigued about, just being adopted on that side.
Yeah, no, it's weird, like kind of coming into the awareness, how you face it, like how you're like, because when I was a kid, I would just get angry, like I would just get like really upset, and sometimes like I would even make the assumption that that's what they were implying. So like I had such anxiety about interactions like that if anything remotely like was close, I'd be like, oh, racist. And it's like, Byron, stop. And it only occurred to me like in my adult life, like for me personally, how it was affecting me negatively. Now, granted, you are going to run into some ignorant people in this life. And the way that I approach those situations now is like, okay, how much power am I going to give this person over my day? Like, am I going to let them asking me a really stupid question? And for some of them, it's out of real curiosity. They just don't know how to ask it. Like, am I going to let them asking this question or framing this statement or outright calling me a name, am I going to give you power over my day? Like, am I going to let you move me in such a way that, like, I ain't never going to see you again?
Right.
Like, I don't know who you are. Like, see ya. Like, I think that's the way that I approach it now. So it's interesting to hear, like, in your story, kind of going through the adoptee journey of, like, being that kid growing up. And then I wanted to actually follow up with that. A lot of times when you've kind of been the outsider your whole life, and in your case, you didn't go back to, where you were born until you were in college. So did you feel imposter syndrome when you went back to your home country, and how did you come out of that? Because you said you were there for 6 weeks, haven't been back since.
I was back for a little bit.
Okay,
but it's been a while.
Yeah, but how did you feel like when you went? Like, because you probably ain't seen that many people like you.
So hysterical. So because even though I went over by myself, there were like other students that were taking business classes over there. But there was a majority of students in the university that were there for language. They were learning Mandarin. So we would all be in a group out in public at a restaurant. We'd sit down, look at the menu. Immediately when the server came up, they would look to me because I am Asian.
Yeah.
I am Chinese. And then I would sit there just smiling at them. And then I turned to all of the Caucasian people
that speak Mandarin,
that spoke fluent Mandarin. And I'd be like, and then they would order they would be ordering all the food and speaking great Mandarin. I just be like, what is that? So
they look back at you like, oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely should have learned more Mandarin. That was not a barrier for me to go over there. So I always say, like, you're gonna learn the basics of any language. Google Translate is around, but that is the most common story of. I don't want to say it's like imposter syndrome, but I thought it was just funny that people, I would assume, which rightfully, like, I would.
Yeah.
If I was the other way, I would also do the same.
I would look at me too. Yeah.
But that's one of the most funny experiences. I would say it's like growing up, my family, like, they are Caucasian. Like, they never tried to hide that I was adopted or anything. They were told me very early on.
By the way,
in case we don't look the same. My dad would always troll people in the grocery store, and he has a really funny personality. I would be in the grocery cart, he'd be pushing the cart, and then people come up to him and just like stare at me, and then stare at him, and just be like, oh, and my dad,
it ain't.
And my dad would be like, "She looks just like me, doesn't he? Doesn't she?" So I grew up with that kind of like funny sense of humor, being Asian adopted. But I asked my dad now, I'm like, why didn't you enforce more Chinese culture or like force me to take language classes or, help me get more immersed in the Chinese culture? And he'll say like, oh, well, we asked you if you wanted to, take Mandarin lessons when you were 9 years old. I go, what 9-year-old kid would be like,
why would you let me decide that?
Yeah. It's like, that's not my decision to make.
Yeah.
But in the end, when I think about it realistically, if I was forced to take Mandarin lessons when I didn't want to, I would not have gotten anything out of it as much as I would have thought that I would want it.
Yeah.
So I get why he did that, but also be really cool if I did speak some Mandarin.
Dad, oh my God, why did you let me make that decision?
I know. I was like, you just need to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Yeah, no, it is very interesting. How do you approach it now?
Approach what?
How do you approach, like, are you learning Mandarin? Like, are you trying to indulge yourself more, like, in Chinese culture, or like, how do you face it now?
I married a Taiwanese man, so
okay.
That
I don't know what that means. Does that bring you closer or like farther away?
It's so funny because I never thought that I would marry an Asian man in Indiana, because respectfully, there's just not a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then let alone one that I like to marry, out of the small pie, and then the pie is even smaller. But I have loved this. I'm like Hannah Montana. I get like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
I have my American family, and I have the traditions and culture from that.
Yeah.
Very Midwestern. And then it's so fun to learn and experience the Chinese Taiwanese culture from my husband's family.
So they're full on, like,
they came, they're immigrants from Taiwan, so they speak fluent Mandarin. I would say they've definitely assimilated to the American culture.
Right.
So,
but they still have their roots. Yeah.
Yes, they still have their roots. I hear the stories. They were born in Taiwan, so it's like they were living their lives with that that story. So it has been a lot of fun. To your question of, do I speak Mandarin? No, I still do not. I wish I did. I actually have a lot of friends around me that do speak Mandarin, so it's a me thing that I'm just not learning. My quip is, if I really need to speak it, then I will just go to China for 6 months to a year so I can fully
and then come back,
immerse.
Change what? Yeah,
yes.
I speak Mandarin now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know some of the basics, and mainly food, because that's what we order a lot in Chinese is Chinese food.
Me
so
too.
That's the necessities.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
But for me, it goes soul food, Chinese, Italian, the top three. But on that topic I want to shift more. One, I appreciate you telling your story, and I know we got kind of deep into the identity part thing, but I want to make a bit of a shift into your organization, Find Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Before we get there, how did you meet your husband?
I met him on Hinge. Don't tell the brand. It's bad for the brand.
What? You met him on Hinge?
I didn't meet him on Hinge. But the thing is, so we matched on Hinge.
Okay.
We texted for a couple of weeks, but never met up. He had kind
Whose
of
fault was
sparked.
that?
He sparked my interest because he sent me food photos. And I was like, no man has ever sent me a piece of sushi, like a picture of sushi. And I was like, this guy is kind of cool. But then the next day after he sent that photo, he texted me. I was like, hey, I met a girl. I'm starting like to date her. So I just wanted to let you know. I was like, okay. A few months passed. I get a message from him and it's like, hey, have you found love?
Circle back.
And luckily, I responded to him. I always joke with him. I'm like, you bet you are gonna be so lucky that I responded to you. And he's
Why did you respond?
Because he sent me the food photo.
So for months, you're like, man, that guy that sent me food photos, man, he's got a girlfriend, but man, that was just so different. He circles back. Nah, whatever. Yeah, I'll text it back.
Yep. So we sent me food photo. Well, he circled back, and we finally were able to meet up for an official first date, which was a Colts game here in Indianapolis. So now it's our annual tradition to go to a Colts game once a year, which we're actually doing this weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
But did meet on Hinge. Don't tell anybody.
That's really interesting. Yeah, personally, I refuse to. I can't do it. I can't hop on the apps. At least I'm trying not to. But with that being said, hearing more about your history and your upbringing, and then you meeting your husband, which I'm assuming is all before, Find Indianapolis and everything. What kind of pushed you in the direction of, like, I need to start something that is encouraging people to get off the apps and more in person and shaking hands and looking people in the eyes? Like, with how you and your husband met, like, what pushed you in that direction to the point of starting Find Indianapolis?
It was more of like, I've been there, I've done that, in the sense of I remember the struggles and how tough it was to date online back in 2019.
Yeah.
I would download the app, swipe, go on a couple dates, it wouldn't work out, get so sad and depressed, delete it, download it again in another like a month.
This toxic relationship with Hinge.
Yes. And I remember the struggles, and from especially like getting out of COVID, and some of my friends were in long-term relationships, and now they were like back in the dating scene again, back in like 2024. They were just so sick of the dating apps. And I was like, I remember how tough it was, 4 or 5 years ago. I can't imagine what it's like now. And it's just compounding, getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
With COVID and us going so much online, it's really hindered a lot of our social skills and interaction and people skills.
For sure.
And all honesty, I kept seeing these fun singles events on Instagram in other cities like LA, New York. I selfishly wanted to just go to them because they looked like fun events. Like, it's like, oh, a dinner party with singles? Like, I want to go to that, but I can't because I'm married. And
yeah, that's one thing. That's one reason.
That's one reason. That's the first reason.
What's his name? Alex? Alex, can we just go and just hit on me? I'm surprised.
Exactly.
It'll be fun.
We pretend we're single.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And last year, whenever I was like starting Find, I would shut down it was like a time of transition. I felt like I needed to blow up my life, which at age 28, I found out that is a very like spiritual like age in which
really
people feel the need to like blow up their life. And I was so like uneasy. I was like, my life is really good. Like we were married at the time, so I was like, I have a great husband. Everything seems fine. Like, why am I not happy? And so I was like reevaluating everything. Decided to shut down the marketing business last year with my business partner. We are still on good terms, which is great, but we just it was time to go our separate ways. And I also had a park for food trucks called the Truck Stop in Terre Haute. And that was just a big learning lesson in entrepreneurship. Decided to shut that down as well.
Yeah.
And I was excited just to do something else. And I really missed being an entrepreneur is like very lonely in the sense of you don't have coworkers. Like it's everything's like you're responsible for everything. And I wanted to do something more social. So I was trying to think of different social things to do. My first thing that I thought of was like, I'm going to be a handlebar driver. Like downtown. Like the pedal bars.
Really?
Yeah. So I applied and I was like, can I be a handlebar driver? And they're like, yeah, sure. So I got trained to be a bartender, handlebar driver. And then that was like fall of last year. And then season kind of ends. So I was kind of just building like fine in that sense. So like my first thing was like be a handlebar driver. And then I saw these singles events on the internet and I was like, I want to bring these experiences to Indianapolis and just see if this is something that people want to do. The event that I saw was a pitch a single friend event in Los Angeles. And I was like, I want to do this for my friend Jen. Like she's awesome. Like why can we not find her a man? Because she is like awesome. So I was like, I want to pitch my friend Jen.
Did it work?
Well, the thing is, I messaged the company in Los Angeles, and I was like, "Hey,
just out the blue?
Yeah, just do it. Like, you just DM people.
I'll try. Yeah. I'll try that next time. Hey, get the fuck out of my DMs.
I DM so many random accounts all the time. Luckily, the company in LA, they're like, yes, we do this pitch a single friend event, but speed dating is really popular. Like that's where we do a lot of our events. And I was like, speed dating? Like people are doing speed dating? And they're like, yes. Like
it seems like such an old idea, doesn't it?
Yeah, and like we do it with technology, like we make it really efficient, and we actually just finished software and we're ready to license it out to other people to use.
Wow.
And they're like, you're our first guinea pig, essentially. I was like, wow, okay, well, sign me up. I'm a yes girl. Like, I like to try new things and see how it happens. So they encouraged me to start Find in the sense of, like, they're not I'm not a franchise. Like, Find is my own business. But I license the software for speed dating from them, and they have just been really good mentors in helping provide advice over the past year. So I love them. And
Find's only been around for a year?
Yeah. So we had our first speed dating event in September of last year. It sold. I was just curious how it would go. I just posted on Instagram and on a few community calendars, and we had 54 people sign up, which sold us out because I didn't know what to expect. I wanted to keep it small. We had 100% show up rate, which is
wow. That's unheard of.
Yes, non-existent.
Yeah.
We haven't done that since, but
it was a one time.
It was a one-time miracle. But then we kept booking a couple more events, and then those would sell out, and those would sell out. So by the time January hit, we were doing 5-6 events in Indianapolis.
Wow.
And then gradually started doing. I finally did the pitch a single friend event in Indianapolis, which was why I started the whole company, essentially. That's been a lot of fun. And just meeting new people and trying different event formats has been so fun to test out and see what people like to do.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think you've gotten from it? Because you had mentioned you'd hit this midlife crisis at 28 years old.
Yes.
What do you think pushed you? Because you had mentioned that, and I felt this. The entrepreneurial journey is very, very lonely. Like most oftentimes, I'm just in here by myself setting everything up, or like I'm somewhere else setting everything up. I'm working late nights, editing, doing whatever, like alone. And that's just part of the journey, right? But why do you think that you weren't happy? Like before you started Find, which, the assumption is that you're happy now.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear that you didn't place the reason on your marriage, which I think is very, very mature. So how did you seek out, like were you seeking happiness, Or
I
do
was
you think
seeking
you
community.
weren't filled? Okay.
I was seeking community for sure. I had gotten it from I am a part of a co-working space in Indianapolis. It's called Draft. It's a
I've been there. Yeah, it's awesome.
yes,
Awesome.
it's like a community for creatives, which that had helped a lot with my like journey and everything. I was like, when I first started the marketing company, like a year after, I was very unhappy, and I was like, but I was working remote. I was working by myself, and I'm a very social person. So then I joined the co-working space. I actually joined the speakeasy, and then when that went away, I joined Draft, and that was a saving grace for me. But I was still wanting more community, more social interaction. I love hosting things. I've always been the person that's like, let's just host friends at our house. Like, I want people to come over to our house. We entertain, and then people can leave. Like, I don't mind cleaning and everything. I just want people at my house. So I love hosting things. I love creating experiences. Whenever I go to events, festivals, shows, not just even indie, but when I travel and across in the big cities and across the globe, my mind always goes to like, how did this, like, who's working behind the scenes to make me feel this way? And I always think about that. I look at the details. I'm like, oh, like that's something that's small, like a small detail, a decoration or a place card or something, but it makes so much of an impact.
Yeah.
And I just love the behind the scenes of events. So I wanted to just learn more about that. And I'm a project manager at heart. I love connecting things. I'm very much a philosophy of a who, not how girl. So I want to find who is awesome and experts in their field instead of like, how am I going to do it? So that's another thing I love, is being able to use my skills of being very social, being a project manager, and having the vision, and then finding the experts that can implement it. So that's kind of where we do a lot of with our events. It's like, okay, if we have a pickleball event, it's like we're gonna have it at a pickleball facility where they are experts at what they do, and I'm not trying to
teach them how to
play
play
pickleball.
You just
like
gotta
in
hit
a park.
the gong and the rotate.
Yeah. So that's fun. And with the different shows that I do, it's like I have a vision in mind, and I am constantly telling people about it. And then I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do like this type of show. Like, I'm trying to do this type of activation or event. And then people will just, they'll be like, yes, I know somebody who does that. You need to talk to them. You need to do that. And that's honestly my favorite part, is like meeting new people and figuring out how they are just being like so great in what they do. But what I find the most fulfilling with Find, and what's made me so happy, is that I'm able to plan the event, the experience, execute it, see it in real life, adjust as needed so I can like debrief it. And then afterwards, just seeing all the happy faces, the stories that come from it is what makes everything worth it. So whenever people tell me like, oh, I'm still dating somebody that I met at your speed dating event, then that's just a dopamine hit for years. Yes.
So to your point about the importance of community, because I think that maybe I'm guilty of this too. A lot of people see marriage as like the finish line instead of a start line. Like it's the start of another journey with somebody else. And it's also not the key to it's not the key to happiness. Now, there's nothing is the key to happiness. Like, it's all based on current circumstance, how you feel. It comes and goes, right? But what is the importance of maintaining community even after you get married? Because when you marry someone, like, you are committing, like, this is how I see it. You are committing to a life journey with someone. And that can sometimes become isolating. Like, sometimes you don't know exactly where to set boundaries, where to cut things off, where something is too far somewhere else. Like, you know, you can't just, well, I don't know how yours is, but you can't just like go out and do whatever you want all the time without like communicating. So why was it so important for you to understand that even though I'm married, community and being social is still important?
I think it's just how, number one, yes, your friendships are going to bring you through life. And not just a romantic relationship. It's like your platonic, your friends are going to, or is what I value my friends more than anything. Honestly, I tell my husband this all the time. I'm like, I love my friend. Like, I value my friends, my friendships with my best girlfriends, like number one. And he knows that, and we like joke about it all the time. But as you know, people get divorced. You know, like relationships come and go, but your core friend group is going to hopefully be around for your entire life. And my best friends, they have the history, they have the good, bad, and the ugly, and they still want to be friends with me, which is phenomenal. But I've been reading a lot of different relationship shows, podcast books, and the thing that keeps reoccurring, and a lot of the studies that have been shown are the key to longevity in a happy life, in an old life, is your friendships and your relationships. Yeah. And the digital realm has helped it so that we can stay connected to people that aren't in close proximity. Yeah. But then we're doing that too much.
It's not a replacement.
It's not a replacement for especially the people that do live close to you in proximity. We're like not even seeing the people that live 20, 30 minutes away from us.
And that sounds like 30 minutes. Oh, that's so far. It's really not. It's not far at all.
And we have cars. Like, we're not horse and buggying it anymore. Like, we can go see somebody
folks fast. Used to travel, like, they used to take day trips to go see the homies. And it takes us, like, 15 minutes, and you're too busy.
Yes.
Like, bro, come on.
And I'm like, okay.
My bros know who they talking. Yeah, they know who they are. Jeez. Sorry, go ahead.
And I think women are still very much a lot better at maintaining the friendships. So trying to figure out how to get to kind of instill those values again or create those experiences or places that people want to gather. There's a big lack of third spaces in America.
I've heard you talk about this,
I love third spaces. I'm so obsessed with them. Big lack of third spaces in America, and that doesn't help facilitate community at all. And third spaces it's not your home, your work. It's a third space where you can just exist and be you. Yeah. Typically, church has been a very common third space that has, depending on people's beliefs. But coffee shops are another equivalent. Parks. Now it's like events. It's like community organizers have been that like third space for a lot of people. And we need to get back to doing that. And one of the reasons that, Sweden? Is Copenhagen in Sweden? Denmark? Oh. Scandinavian countries.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Up in there, they're like the happiest people in the world. And from visiting there, and obviously I don't live there, but from visiting there and listening to the stories, it's because they really put a value on organizations and clubs. So they have a very good work-life balance where, they get a month of vacation or more.
A month?
No, like a month of vacation a year. Like they're not taking 2 weeks of vacation.
Yeah.
It's like they get just a lot more vacation days. But also their employers really respect organizations like the club. So it's like if they have a club that meets at 4:30, they get off at 4, and they're very like adamant about that to go to your swim club or something.
I can't imagine telling my boss, I got to pick up game at 4. I got to get up at 3:30. And he said, go ahead.
Yeah, but I just love hearing about that they put such an emphasis on friendships and community, and I'm not saying that's one of the primary attributes. There's a bunch of other things that go into making it a really happy country, but that's one of the elements that we are definitely missing here in America. And if you think about it, and I always try to think about it in the sense of what it was like growing up around school and college, like our friends are there every day. We're so happy because we see our buddies in the lunchroom or at practice after
it just
school.
Doesn't happen anymore.
No. Yeah. Has to be very intentional, and we need to start putting some more intention into it. Yeah,
no, I agree. Kind of back to your point. I will say I do think your take personally is interesting about like friendships and marriage. Like I ain't gonna lie, like when I get married, she number one. Sorry, but like my homies kick to the curb. Now, I think I think about it more in the case of like conflict. Like if the two are conflicting and you have to choose, like more than likely, unless my wife's tweaking, which I should have married her, if she's tweaking like this, I'm more than likely going to choose that relationship. But I think what you're saying is 100% correct. And like, even if you are married, it is critically important for you to have people that you just like being around.
Yeah.
Because like, say you're married, like you got a ring, like you've made a legal and like, for me personally, a spiritual commitment to somebody, right? You talk about friendships. I just like being around this dude. Or like, I like being around this person. Like, those are people that you actively choose to be around just because. And like, you're 100% right. Dudes are terrible at it. We're terrible. Now, what I will say we're good at is like, I do not need to text my homies on the daily. We don't need to say what's up in a group chat. If I saw you 6 months ago and then I saw you today, it would be like I have been seeing you every day since. I do think we're better at that. Like, there's almost no time lost ever. But I will say, especially, and I can speak for a minute about this. Like, it is very, very dangerous for people around my age, because you begin to like kind of isolate yourself. Like, I really only have and need like 3 or 4 like close homies that I keep around me. Yeah. Like, now I'm not really looking for new, like, like, I don't need it. And maybe this is just how it is today, like with social media and everything. It can sometimes feel, and this is not you, it can sometimes feel exhausting to invite somebody new into your life. Like, it can feel,
I'm gonna push back on that.
That's why I said, like, wait, do you feel the same, or that's not how you are? Yeah, that's how I am. Okay. Like, with the people that I'm intentional about putting my time with and energy to, with, you know, things I'm trying to build, like, your time is critical, and so is your energy. So it's like, I'm very deliberate and intentional with who I give that time and energy to. And it's like, folks can't just walk in and out of my life. Like, you can't just stroll in. Hey, can I have your time and energy? No, you can't. But that can become dangerous, because when you don't seek out new relationships and new friends, one, that can refrain growth, because if you're around the same people all the time and nobody's advancing or doing anything new, you're going to stay the same. And if you begin to lose those people, you've just lost someone in your life. Like, there's no one to replace them, or you don't have, like, I guess, a reserve bucket of friends. Like, they're just gone. And especially like when you talk about progressing from high school to college to living life, and people, you know, they do their own thing. Like, they get married, or they get a new job, or they start a business, or like they have something that takes their time away. And whether you lost that friend because of that or because of some kind of conflict, now they're just gone. And I think that's where it definitely gets dangerous, with at least the mindset that I have of being hesitant to invite new people in, because once you lose, or if you lose those people that you do have, that's it. But I would like to hear your pushback.
Okay, so a couple of things. I'm going to go back to, really fast, I'm going to go back to relationship with husband and friendship. I think something that I didn't realize, that I am so glad my husband did, was that he kept his friend group, in the sense of, he has a really good group of guy friends, and he keeps us separate, and not in a bad way.
Really?
But so when I was little, my parents did everything together. They would go to the movies together, they go to church, like, they did everything together. Yeah. And so that's what I thought. I was like, oh, my partner and I, like, need to be attached at the hip, and we do everything together. Yeah. But Alex, he's a little bit older than I am. We have a 10-year age gap. And
grown man.
He has his own life. He has his own life, and that was a shock to me. I was like, oh wow, he doesn't want to hang out with me, or like go to the movies or grocery store with me. And he would just tell me.
It's like, girl, I put a ring on your finger. Like, what are we talking about?
And he'd just be like, no, like, I don't want to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll just go by myself. I'll invite my friends. So he's been really good at keeping me grounded with my friend groups. I would say he hangs out with a little bit more of my friends than I do his, just because I don't know how to relate to 40 and 50-year-old men. Yeah. Golf, poker, whatever. But that has been nice that we have our together and separate lives. Yeah. To the friendship thing of letting new people in, I've in my head, I have this categorization rule. And it's grouping friends into buckets.
Yep.
And I have my A friends, my B friends, and my C friends.
Very simple. Yep.
My A friends, similar to you, it's like 3 or 4.
Yep.
Ride or dies.
Very exclusive.
Yes. Like
Yep.
they know everything about me, and I'm unfiltered at all times.
Yep.
And then my B friends are the majority of, I would say, the people I hang out with. It's like we're more than just like colleagues or coworkers. Like I actually know a little about your personal life, and we can call or text. Like I categorize it as, if I could call you to sleep on your couch, like that's a B friend.
That's a B friend?
That's a B friend. Is that an A friend
If you a B friend, don't call me. Sleeping on my couch. You kidding me? Give me a ride. I'll call you an Uber. What? Sorry, that's A friend territory for me, but sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And then, see, we all can have our different criteria.
Right.
And then C friends are, I would say, more like professional relationships or colleagues. Like you trust them, you like them, but you're not necessarily going to go hang out on a Friday night.
Go to movies? No, I'm good.
And I like that. I think it's important to remember that people can shift out of those.
Yeah.
And depending on the life cycle, the season, the culture, people can go from an A friend to a B or C, and then people can also, start from the bottom and get up to A. So I hear a lot of people, they talk to me and message me and say like, I'm having trouble making friends, or like keeping connections or relationships with people.
Now you're the community therapist.
I am.
Nice.
I love it, but sometimes I'm like,
go get a real go get the real
I can only have so much.
Better help.
But I do like a 3 strikes rule of thumb. And this is really for people in my like B friends. Like my A friends, whatever happens, like I know you're gonna like hang out, like they're good. The B friends, this is kind of demotes if they're a B or C, is if my 3 strikes are, if I ask you to hang out, do something, come to like not just my event, but if we go do something together, it's more quality time. If I ask you 3 times for quality time and I do not get, number one, a response back, or if you cancel on me and there's no reciprocated like, oh, I can't, but let's try in a month, or like I'm really busy, or like if there's no effort to reciprocate, to reschedule, then you just kind of like drift into the sea, to the sea of C friends.
Yeah, you're drifting. Oh, there you go.
So I think that's worked for me because, everybody has their own things going on.
Right.
Especially if you don't.
You got to give people grace.
You got to give people grace. So that's why I kind of do like the 3 strikes rule, because we all have things going on, but there's also a mutual relationship. It's a 2-way street. If I'm not a priority in your life, that's okay.
Right.
But I just need to know my boundaries with our relationship. And that's helped me give peace of mind, because there's a lot of times there's people that I really want to connect with, but just because I want to connect with them, just kind of like in dating, like just because I want to date you doesn't mean that you might want to date me. Yeah. So it's the same thing with friendship.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And back to your point about in marriage, being your own people is so important. It's so important. I think that it's super easy to kind of slip into, you want to be attached to the hip all the time, do everything, like you want to, especially like when it's been a minute and like it's been rough for your boy out here, and then like you find somebody, it's like, oh my gosh, finally. It's like, you still need to be your own person, and it's so easy to lose yourself in somebody else. Like it's so easy to let that take over your life. And I think that like the way that I look at it, and because I hold like marriage and relationships like with one person to really, really high regard, but it's never supposed to envelop you. Like it's never supposed to consume you. And that's why I liked what you brought up between you and your husband, when you were like, oh my God, you want to, no. Oh, I guess I'll go by myself. And that can be hard to hear, but it takes understanding, and it takes you seeking a solution, and not like not like trying to put it like, oh, am I not good? It's like, that's not it. It's like, you're your own person. And I think it's so important to, like, even in marriage, even when you have this covenant and spiritual deep relationship with someone, it's still important that you're your own person. Like, you don't just get together and you die. Like, you know, it's not over. Like, you're so supposed to live your own life, have your own goals and dreams and aspirations, and you support each other through those things. And I think it actually takes, I don't think we naturally do it. I think naturally we want to do everything together. I think we lean more towards that, and it actually takes intentionality and awareness to be like, okay, yes, I've chosen this journey with you, but I am still my own person. You're still your own person, and that takes mutual understanding. But I think it's really, really easy for people to get lost in that.
Yeah, and I also hate to give like ultimatums, because if that works for some people, sometimes that just works. Like for my parents, that worked for them, and they were married for, you know, over 40 years.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, that's not the vibe. And also for my husband, that is not the vibe for him.
Yeah.
So just depends on the relationship and what you're looking for.
Yeah, you know, I agree. We're coming to the end of the show. I got a few lasting questions for you. What have you found to be most fulfilling? Because now my assumption is that you're out of the 28 midlife crisis,
Yes.
Approaching 30. We're almost there, approaching the horizon. And now you're seemingly doing the thing that you were searching for when you were 28. Where do you go from here?
I take it month by month. Essentially, I know I've opened a couple businesses. I know how fast things change.
Yeah.
And I would love for Find to be what I do for many years, but I'm also very realistic with that.
Yeah.
That might not happen, especially with businesses that are trendy. Singles events are very trendy right now, which I love.
I'm not sure I don't know if they're ever gonna go away.
I don't know. I mean, they kind of went away. My parents met at a singles dance. That's where they met, but that went away.
Yeah.
Like people that with eHarmony and all those like OG dating sites.
eHarmony was oh my God, that was the OG dating site.
The OGs. I was talking to somebody who used to host singles dance, and he's like, we would have hundreds of people out.
Wow.
Hundreds of people out all the time, every week, bunch of people, because, you know, we didn't have cell phones. They didn't have cell phones back then. That was
the
your
only
community.
way you could see somebody was to show up.
Yes, to show up. And then the internet came, online dating, and now we're like in the swing back to the old school days of meeting people in real life. And there is a hybrid approach to dating of being on the apps, but also meeting people face to face in real life. And what I love about Find and like the speed dating is that for those that aren't picture perfect on a dating app or like funny or witty with texting and things, like this lets your personality shine.
Yeah.
This lets you meet with people face to face. You get the vibes, you get the feelings, and that is what makes me the most fulfilled, is that people can shine in the way that they are meant to. We not just how we communicate. Not everybody is a texter. Not everybody's a caller. Some people are conversationalists. So we just need to give people different mediums to be able to express who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess last question now. How should people show up to your events?
With an open mind.
Yeah.
100%. If you come with a very closed-minded...
Write that down in case things fall through.
If you come with a very closed-minded checklist of things, that's not what Find's about. It's about being open to meeting not just new people, but new experiences. And through that, even if you don't, find a romantic partner from the first speed dating event, it's like, I hope you find some friends. Yeah. Hope you relate to any of the guys, girls on a platonic relationship, and that you build your circle, because this is like the most fun part, is just being able to bring people together and get off the apps, not just the dating apps, but Instagram and TikTok, and actually meet people in real life again. Yeah. Bo Turner, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed this conversation. And I'm definitely going to have to slide in one of your events.
soon, maybe sooner rather than later. But thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much to anybody who's listened to this episode of the FBA podcast. Like and subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us. Thank you so much. Peace out. That was amazing.
Yay! That was so fun.
Damn.
You're so tall. The digital realm has helped it so that we can stay connected to people that aren't in close proximity.
Yeah.
But then we're doing that too much.
It's not a replacement.
It's not a replacement for especially the people that do live close to you in proximity. I kept seeing these fun singles events on Instagram in other cities like LA, New York. I selfishly wanted to just go to them because they looked like fun events. With COVID and us going so much online, it's really hindered a lot of our social skills and interaction and people skills. What I find the most fulfilling with Find and what's made me so happy is that I'm able to plan the event, the experience, and then afterwards just seeing all the happy faces, the stories that come from it is what makes everything worth it.